Before we get into this review, I just want to thank all of you who followed me on this journey. Every one of you who stood by my side since issue 1, saw my interest in this book, and then through 12 issues, saw my interest rapidly decline. We made it. We made it. It's the end. It's officially, finally, wholeheartedly the end of Batman Catwoman. Is this the end of Tom King on Batman? No, because guess what? He's got another Batman book out now. That's how long it took this book to wrap up. Tom King actually has another Batman book. Goodness gravy. Okay, so if you're still new to this series of reviews for some reason, I do not like this book at all. I think it's so ham-fisted and arrogant and annoying, and this issue is no different. You'd think it would end on a nice note, but I think this issue more than any really makes me hate the relationship King wrote for these two. It doesn't feel earnest, it doesn't feel realistic. So, once again, we jump through time. It's easier to follow in this issue than in previous ones, but let's just get into it. It's Christmas night. Selina is in bed with Bruce. It's either the past or the present. I think it's the present timeline, or maybe not. And she goes downstairs to see the big Christmas tree, and she sees that Santa has left some presents because Alfred's being a little cheeky about it. And that's a really nice, sincere moment. Alfred's not saying anything dumb. He's not doing anything silly. He's just being a nice guy. Like, there's presents for you. Enjoy. Goodbye, Miss Kyle. We cut back to the present. Or no, we cut back to the future, I should say. I guess it's the present because it's the timeline we're kind of following. But in the future, Helena and Selina are having some dinner or something. The panels show a cat trying to chase a mouse, and I guess it's like the cat and mouse game of these two. I don't know. I guess it's a cat and mouse game of like a mother and daughter chasing down this... Well, I don't know. It's an interesting choice, I guess, makes it a little more unique, but whatever. So it's Christmas time. Selina got her daughter a present. She's like, Mom, I'm not opening this. I don't think it's worth it. It's the ring, right? It's the ring Dad got you. And Selina's like, no, your father gave me that ring. It's the diamond that he caught me stealing when we met on the boat. I'm going to be buried with that ring. You don't get to touch it. Okay, but I got you something else. Open up the gift. And she's like, no, I'm not opening up the gift. But she sits there for a minute and decides, oh, okay, I'll open it up. We cut back to, when is this? I guess this is the present timeline? Yeah, because Phantasm is supposedly dead right now, and Bruce is mopey. This is the worst sentence I think I've ever heard Bruce mumble. I actually hate this. So they're on the opposite sides of the bed, and Selina's trying to talk to him. And he's like, I don't know, Selina. I fight my whole life since my stupid parents and that stupid gun and those stupid pearls flew everywhere. I try to do good, and what happens? Is there any good in any of it? I hate that he said that. It is so manically brutish for no apparent reason. It's one of the worst sentences I think the character has ever said, because it's like, what the hell? We get that you're mad and like you lost a battle. You've been losing battles forever, honey. Get over it. Pick yourself up. Dust yourself up. Get back in the game. But Selina's like, okay, we've gone a couple issues where I haven't shown my, naked body. So here, let me show you something cool, Bruce. So she takes off her top. And yeah, Bruce is like, okay. And then they reenact the cover of issue 1, but they're in their, undergarments. And yes, the first issue of this book was very sexy. But now it just feels dumb, you're just like, okay, you're trying to emulate your own, self-worth here. It's not really doing it. It's like, I got you, baby. Don't worry. It's you and me forever. We're two wounded animals, two kindred spirits finding each other in this mortal plane. It's like, shut up. I don't like it. Then we cut back to the past. I'm guessing this is the past line. And Selina's trying to ask him, like, so what are we? What is this? And Bruce is like, that depends. What are you to the Joker? And she's like, well, I don't know. It's so dumb. Oh, it's so dumb. And you just feel, Batman is so whipped in this book. It's so frustrating. And I kind of like that storyline, because that's kind of like what the Harley Quinn cartoon's doing, where Catwoman just got her claws right into him. And I think it's hilarious. But This is just such like a really bad version of that, where it's just so sad to see it. He's trying to be like soft towards Selena. It's not working. And she just leaves him on the rooftop again. Just blue balled him again. That's what Selena does in the past. Just blue balls him. Cut to the future. Helena finds the present that her mom gave her, and it's the glasses the Joker was wearing, and she's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Is this some sort of lesson? Is this some sort of like moral bullshit? Like, why did you give me this? What is the point of any of this? She's like, nothing, dear. I'm gonna leave now. Okay, I'm gonna head back to Gotham. I like it there. I just wanted to give you this, just to remind you. Boop-de-boop. Good times. I hate it. I think it's dumb. And we cut back to the present timeline. Oh, Tom King. Mad respect, bruv. Mad respect. I have to commend him for just being like, let's set up a whole issue years ago dedicated to the wedding of the Cat and the Bat. He built an entire career pretty much out of like, we're marrying them finally. And in that issue, guess what? They don't get married. It was blue balling the characters again. But guess what? In the final issue of this terrible book, he finally marries them off. Are you kidding me? They go to some little Gotham chapel, like, you know, Las Vegas style. Selena's got cat ears on. Bruce clearly doesn't want to be there. And this is the part where I really hate it, because you actually hear Bruce say he loves her in like the other timeline and the other part of the story. But here in this issue, he just looks really pissed off the entire time they're getting married. He literally says no. He doesn't like the idea of like the cat theme or the bat themed wedding. It's so dumb. But it's like, hey, we can provide you with a witness, but it's going to cost you extra. And it's like, no, we'll pay. Like, come on. She's like, come on, honey, they could be here any second, and you know they'd like it, and their family. So Bruce's like, oh, fine. But if he starts on and on about hope again, I'm going to call this off and get the just in case rock. Oh my, what is that? Why did you say that? What a dumb sentence. Why is Bruce just talking like he's a caricature of a Bruce Wayne character? It's so silly. Does he want to get married? It doesn't seem like he wants to get married, and it's just Selena trying to give him like pity sex after they're married. It's so frustrating. But guess who shows up? It's Clark and Lois. They're going to get married, and of course, Lois is super happy, and you see Selena's really happy, but Clark's like, this reminds me of a river back on Krypton. It's like, what does that mean? And Bruce completely ignores him and is like, okay, we have the witness. Let's just go. It's so dumb. And then we cut back to the past and we see Catwoman and Batman fighting Killer Croc. And she's again like, look, you can't tame me, buddy. I don't care what you can do. I'm not going to cook for you. I'm not going to clean for you. I'm not going to take care of any of your, and take care of your bat blank. Like is it bat cock? Is that what we're saying? Bat something? I don't know. I don't know. But she's like, I'm not going to be what you want me to be, buddy. And he's like, I know what you are. I love you, and I know exactly what that means. Sure you do, Bruce, because clearly in the future you know exactly what that means, buddy. Oh my goodness. So she's like, oh, holy shit. He loves me. Does he? I think, again, it's why? Why does he love her? This whole book is supposed to like depict like their ideal relationship. And in none of it does it ever feel like this Bruce Wayne would love this Selena Kyle. It is so incredibly frustrating and dumb. I don't buy the relationship, and I don't understand why it's being written that way. And we come back to the future one final time, because there we see old Selena Kyle on a beach somewhere talking to Andrea Beaumont. And guess what? They had a plan in place to kill the Joker from the get-go, because now that Bruce isn't there, the girls can get their due. Ugh. I don't hate that. I just don't think it's great. It's just kind of silly. But fine. I think it's kind of cool, I guess. At least that's an idea. Not just having, suddenly, now that he's standing at the altar with a Adam West looking priest, Bruce is smiling for the first time in this book. So they say their vows. They put the wrong song on the vinyl. It's like, why? And the guy gets pissed, but they're playing the wrong song. And guess what? The Cat and the Bat get married for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. And the book finally ends with the wedding that Tom King has been teasing for years in the book it wasn't supposed to be in. And we can all rest easy knowing it's done. The 12-issue series that probably killed 12-issue series for this company. Because honestly, there's nothing inherently wrong with a 12-issue series, but you're seeing now that the delays are killing it, the change in the artists are killing it, the story is just so flaccid. I don't understand why he wrote Batman to be one of the worst people I've ever heard in my life. The entire time you are reading this book from Bruce's perspective, he is an asshole, he's a dick, he's just such a cuckolded little punk. I hate it. I don't understand why that happened. I like the idea of now that Batman's gone, Selina's like, I'm killing the Joker. Like, the fact that we all just played into this stupid fantasy for him is annoying. I like that. I think that's a good story. You can tell an interesting story about, like, the Phantasm coming after the Joker, but clashing that with all of this and setting up some stupid pseudo relationship between the Cat and the Joker is really frustrating. The past storyline where Batman's like, I have to do good, but damn, if that girl ain't hot when she's not wearing clothes is so frustrating, so annoying. And I really didn't like it. The artwork is very good. Cleoman did great. Liam Sharp did great too, and he took over for a bit. But I do not like what this book was trying to say. I think it's a terribly paced book with very incoherent characters and a storyline that's just not interesting. I don't think anything in this book's very redeeming in terms of the narrative. I just think it's going to fall flat and mean absolutely nothing to nobody. The fact that they got married in the non-canon book, written by the guy who built his DC stakes claiming he was going to marry them, is one of the most frustrating things I can think of. And I cannot believe we got here. It's done. We don't have to talk about it ever again. We can move on with our lives. Go read the book where Batman's got a motorcycle or something. This is just another Batman book that will fade into obscurity until 10 years from now. YouTubers are going to talk about it and be like, you know what, this was actually kind of interesting. It did play with some good themes. It's a good Selina Kyle story. Is a good Selina Kyle story one where over 50% of the time she's not wearing clothes and she's using her body to seduce people? Is that a good Catwoman story? I would beg to differ, but okay, you did it. You told the story, Tom. Human Target's really good, though, so I'm going to cut you some slack on this one. But not a lot, man. I literally can't. This was an apparent mess, and I did not enjoy it at all. So Batman Catwoman, issue number 12. We are finally done, folks. I am going to give a 3 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.